aluminum pucks that will serve as a connection between the airbags and the tanks.
These ended up becoming more significant than we had thought, just as a safety standpoint. First of all, to be able to take these things off and get to an injury is number one important. The second thing is to be able to reset the system and get somebody back up again.
The pucks are invaluable not only for the transfer of air from the tanks to the bags, but they're also a quick way to get the airbags on and off in case of emergency.
Something's going to fail that we're not thinking about, and that's the nature of the beast.
A miscalculation could cause serious injury, so Terry is focused on keeping the person wearing the airbag out of danger.
Previous builds, it was drill a hole, slap a bolt through it, and if a part falls off, great. It'd be fun. But on this one, if a part falls off, someone gets hurt.
Soon, Terry's finished the last one.
Well, that was the last of the pucks. 14 of them, tapped, done.
The mechanical side is on schedule, but with no code written, the electrical side is lagging behind. Joe and Zaz are having trouble incorporating the readings they took from their trapeze field trip into Zaz's programming.
We spent the earlier part of the day graphing all sorts of different types of models and visualizations of the data, and now we have a good idea of how we want to actually trigger the airbag.
Now it's up to Zaz to program that idea into his computer code. He's writing a custom program to be the brains of Joe's sensor mechanism that will trigger the airbag when it senses someone falling.
We need to make sure that the code is actually solid and runs consistently so we don't damage anybody. You know, having this thing go off by accident would be a bad thing. We're struggling with a ton of just compiler bugs and issues that we don't really want to deal with right now.
Until Joe and Zaz can work out the bugs in the airbag deployment circuits that are powered by Zaz's code, this build is at a standstill. Coming up, pieces start coming together. But later,
there's a processor laying down here.
Things fall apart.
Could resemble a life or death situation.
Will the personal airbag blow up or blow out? The team at Prototype This is attempting to change the outcome of accidents forever with their latest project, the personal airbag. Strapped to your back, it'll sense when you start to fall and inflate around you, keeping you safe from injury. Last week, the team learned just how dangerous exploding airbags can be when strapped on a human. So now, in the second and final week of the build, Terry and Zaz are working on a harness that will both hold the airbag rig and protect its wearer from injury.
In my eyes, this is how I attack this. Maybe make this Kydex.
To perform both functions, a very thin and strong material, Kydex, is called into action.
Kydex is a great material for heat forming. It's very easy to use, and it looks great. That's actually a very important thing. You get something that looks like a spacesuit, people are going to be, I want to wear that and be safe. It's a twofold. And that will give us all of our attachment points. Roy? Cool. Zaz is going to go ahead and design and fabricate the entire vest system.
All the parts of the airbag have to be mounted somewhere, so there has to be some kind of suit that you wear. And having a hard shell that you can rivet things to and it can support a lot of weight, that just makes things easier in laying things out and deploying to this stage. The Kydex harness is basically done. Just needs to have the shoulder straps heat formed. I'm going to take it downstairs and show it to Terry.
Dude, that came out really nice.
Thank you.
That came out really nice. I think that this is a great platform for us to put anything else that we need to. You want to strap this bad boy on?
Zaz takes the harness for a test drive, while Terry blasts the Kydex with a heat gun to make it flexible.
It's quite pliable now. Watch, I don't want to hit you with it, but...
Terry presses down the heated Kydex to form it to Zaz's frame.
Does that hurt?
It feels really comfortable to wear. It's great. But I think with a little bit of padding under the shoulder straps, this is going to really feel kind of like a second skin.
With the harness taking shape, it's high time that the airbags do as well. Last week, Mike took plans from a scale airbag model to a sailmaker and his robotic cutter, then gave the many pieces to Brian the seamster for him to stitch together.
Oh, good morning, Brian.
Now, Brian's returned, and Mike inspects his hasty handiwork.
But you got the bags done?
Yes, we have the bags complete.
The main shape of the bag is done, but there's a lot of technical aspects left to the bags.
On a recent field trip, Mike and Terry visited scientists at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
So how much do we have to worry about this bouncing effect?
You have to worry about it.
Where Mike learned that proper venting of the airbags to prevent bouncing was going to be quite a challenge.
And probably the hardest part about venting bags is the timing to get the air out at the right time. If the vent doesn't open, you slap and do a big belly flop.
The biggest concern right now for me is the vents. No vents, bounce, ouch. Too big of vents, smack concrete, ouch. So it has to be just right. And trying to figure that out is really difficult.
So a vent test is in order.
Should we try and do a quick vent test? That worked really well.
But while inflating the bags, Mike notices that rapid inflation isn't going to be easy.
Using this little blower, we filled up the airbag. It took forever to blow it up with this. We need this bag to be inflated in, quarter of a second to half a second. So that's fast, and that's a lot of air to get into it that quickly. It's going to be interesting to see if it's going to work, The boys downstairs definitely have their work cut out for them.
So Mike brings his concerns regarding the airbag's inflation situation downstairs to Terry.
But it's going to, I'm afraid it's going to just dump into that bag. That bag's going to pressurize. The vents are going to pop open. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to lose all the air. And, no other airbags will fill up.
We could do, and this would actually be really easy, not have to re-drill any holes at all.
Need that?
Cut a,
Sure.
and then put
yeah.
And with whatever.
It'd be great.
See how that works?
So we're just going to make an insert here, but then just remachine this so it just fits in here, making this hole a lot smaller.
It's all part of the fun of